Okay, here we are at Screencast B, and at the end of the screencast, you'll be able to plan a sort to introduce the short vowel A. But let's get to that point. We'll first start by thinking about how we teach short vowels. Now, how we teach short vowels is a little different than how we're going to teach any other phonics feature. So the things I'm showing you now are 4 short vowels. First of all, the short vowels are a, I, and Those are the short vowels. And what's tricky about short vowels is short vowels occur in the middle of words. And we know from phonemic awareness that that's the most difficult part of the word to kind of listen for. And so when we're working with short vowels, we use what we call word families. And word family is just a rhyme, R-I-M-E. So from the vowel to the end of the word. So this is an at word family. It has the short vowel A and then the consonant T. And we can make lots of words with the word, the rhyme at. So we have cat, bat, mat, fat, sat, flats, we have lots, right? And why are we using short vowels? Well, we're using short vowels, word families for short vowels. We're using them for 2 reasons. One, when you glue the same sound onto the end of all these words in these word families, at, you do 2 things to that sound. First, you make the sound larger. So instead of kids just listening for the phoneme in the middle, now they're listening for the rhyme, which is a bigger piece of sound. And we know bigger sound is easier to hear than smaller sound. So the reason we use word families with short vowels, 1, is that we are now making the sound larger. It's a rhyme and not just an individual phoneme. The second reason that we use word families with short vowels is that it changes really the location of the sound. So instead of just looking at this middle sound, we're actually looking at the end of the word. And we know that the end of the word is easier to distinguish than the middle of the word. So we're changing the size of the sound from individual phoneme to rhyme, and we're also changing the location of the sound from the middle to the end. So let me show you what that looks like. If we were doing a short vowel sort, and maybe we were planning to make a pattern sort. Okay, one way we could make a pattern sort would be this. Pretend we're going to teach the short vowel A, and kids already know the short vowel U. So we're going to introduce a new feature by comparing it to a known feature. That's a concept we're going to use over and over again in word study. And so look at the words in this sort. All the words in this sort have short A's, rag, fan, hat, past, and all of these words have short U's, nut, run, rug, shut. In order for kids to sort this, though, they have to look just at that middle part. Do you see how that works? Because we aren't sorting a consistent word family on this side. Neither are we doing a word family on this side. These are all different endings. So the only thing the child can listen to sort these is that middle phoneme. So it's middle, which is hard, and it's phoneme, which is small, which makes it hard. Now compare that to this sort. Same topics. We've got the new feature short A and the known feature short U. But now I've chosen one word family for the A sound. So I've got rag, bag, wag, flag. And on this side, I have a different word family for the short U. Nut, hut, cut, shut. So now when kids, if we cut these words apart and they were sorting them into the 2 categories, they could use the word family. And they would have a bigger unit of sound because ag is a bigger sound than a. And they would also have a better location because the difference between rag and maybe, hut is not just the middle sound, it's also the middle sound in the end. These all ends with T's, these all end with G's. Now, that means that this sort is easier than this sort. Now, that doesn't mean that we might not use these sorts in the same unit. I think what we might do though is we would start out with this easy sort where we have these clear and contrasting word families. That's important. If you want to make this work really easy for kids, it's not that you're just using word families. It's that you're using contrasting word families. Ut is different than ag, right? It would be hard if we made this ag and all these ugs, because again, when you change that to a g, you're forcing kids to only focus on that middle sound. So we might use this contrastive word family sort for the first time we have kids sort these words. And then as they get better at it, maybe then we add this extra challenge of taking the word family away. So as you're thinking about sorts, we know that some sorts are easier than others, but we can also make a sort easier or more difficult by the types of words that we use in the sort. And we'll talk a little bit more about that next week when we talk about planning that 5-lesson plan progression. But generally, let me show you something. If you're having kids sort a short vowel pattern, the easiest thing for them to do is to just find the things that have that word family. So we could do a sort where we're looking for things that have the am or not have the am. And so ham would go in the am family, but dog would not go in the am family. So that's very simple. And that might be how you teach your first short vowel. The second easiest kind of sort is these contrastive word families. So over here we're looking at short a with at, and on this side we've got short I with in. That's a different word family than over here. And then the most challenging is going to be a mixed, a word sort that has no adherence to those word families. So we'd have all these short vowel words, but they don't have a consistent ending. So kids really have to listen to the phoneme in the middle to hear that sound. So you want to think about not only the different types of word study sorts, but how you can change what's happening within a sort to make it easy or difficult. Specifically with short vowels, we're going to use word families.